Hello everyone, I am Suryanarayan Hansa, Physics English from JNP Purulia, West Bengal. Today I am going to teach you one of the poems of class 9th English book Beehive. The name of the poem is The Snake Trying. This is the poem to be studied today, and I am going to teach you this very poem. In this poem, we will learn about the poet, number one. Number two, we will learn the stanza-wise explanation, and then we will also discuss about the poetic devices that the poet has used in this poem, and lastly, we will see the summary of the poem. So let us begin. The title of the poem is The Snake Trying, written by W.E. Ross. So first of all, let us know about the poet. The full form of W.E. is William Wrightson Eustace Ross, who was born on 14th June 1894 in Peterborough, Canada, and he died on 26 August 1966 in Toronto, Canada. He was a Canadian geophysicist and poet. During his lifetime, he published privately two small books, Laconics and Sonnets. So this is about the poet of the poem, The Snake Trying. Now come to the poem. This poem is consisted of 3 stanzas. We will analyze the poem stanza-wise. Before that, let us introduce the poem. This is a beautiful poem about a snake. In this poem, the poet is trying to convince the reader that all snakes are not poisonous. Some of them are quite harmless, and therefore it is foolish to attack and then kill a snake as soon as we see it. Even if a snake is poisonous, it will do us no harm unless it sees danger from us. Here, the snake itself becomes a victim of humans' unkind attitude towards it. Let us now explain the poem stanza-wise. The first stanza, let me read out the first stanza. Let me recite the first stanza. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick with sudden curvings of thin long body. How beautiful and graceful are his shapes. So the first stanza is consisted of 5 lines. In this form, the poet has not used the rhyming words and rhyming scheme. So this poem is in free verse. And if you look at the first stanza, let us first find out the difficult words or the new words that can be in the first stanza. First one is your pursuing, which means chasing or following, and curvings means twisting. Let us explain the stanza. In this stanza, the snake tries to escape from being hit by the stick that is following it. As the snake crawls, its thin long body twists and turns, forming fascinating shapes. Therefore, the first stanza says that the snake itself is the victim of the pursuing stick. So someone is chasing to kill it. Therefore, it runs away to protect himself. And when it crawls in this way, the long thin body of the snake looks very beautiful. How graceful the shapes when it next crawls away from the pursuing stick. This is the first stanza. Now come to the second stanza. The second stanza says, he glides through the water away from the stock. Oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide without hurt. Small and green, he is harmless even to children. So here the poet has appealed to the person who is chasing it. Why? Because the snake is harmless. The snake is very small in size. It is a garden snake. It is a water snake which is harmless. Therefore, the poet appeals not to chase it, not to kill it, not to hurt it. So, what are the different difficult words contained in the stanza 2? Glides. Glide means moves. Stroke means hitting of the stick. And reeds means water or moss plants with thick stems. Now you see the explanation of the second stanza. Now the snake moves through the water. Why? In order to save itself. The poet pleads to let it escape. The poet urges the person to let him go and hide behind the thick mossy plants as it is harmless. The poet makes request to the person not to harm it because the snake is harmless. It does not make any kind of harm to the people. And the snake is also a small green colored snake which is harmless, and that snake is also harmless to the children. Therefore, the poet requests the person not to kill it. Thank you. Now come to stanza 3. In the stanza 3, it also contains 5 lines. All along the sand he lay until observed and chased away, and now he vanishes in the ripples among the green slim reeds. Difficult words: vanishes, disappears, and ripples, small waves. Till it was spotted and chased away by the person holding his stick, it lay quietly in the sand. So before it was spotted, where was the snake? The snake was laying quietly in the sand. In order to save itself, the snake disappears in the ripples. When the snake is chased by a person, it runs away and it disappears in the ripples, small waves of the water, and hides in the green bushes of the mossy plants. So the life of the snake is protected. The snake saved his life by running away from the pursuing stick. What are the various literary devices used by the poet here in this poem? In this poem, as I told you earlier, rhyming scheme is absent. Poet has not used any rhyming scheme because he has not used the rhyming words. So the poem is written in free verse. And second important poetic device that the poet has used is your transferred epithet. Transferred epithet. So first of all, let us know what is transferred epithet. The adjective used with a noun refers to a noun other than the one with which it is used. That is transferred epithet. For example, pursuing switch. Here, pursuing refers to the person who is holding the stick and not the stick itself. So this is transferred epithet. And the next poetic device that the poet has used in this poem is your alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words. For example, in the poem, he is harmless. In this line, H sound in he and H sound in harmless is repeated. Therefore, this kind of use is called alliteration, and beautifully the poet has used these 2 devices in this poem. Now, let us see the summary of the poem. In this poem, as I told you, a harmless green colored snake tries to save itself from being hit by a person who is chasing it with a stick to kill it. The poet says that the snake is harmless even to children. People fear snakes, and when they see one, they try to kill it with a stick. The snake tries to save itself and hides behind a green-colored bushes of mossy plants growing in the water. It hides in the ripples of the water body in order to save itself. The snake disappears in the mossy plants. Therefore, the poet here has appealed not only to the person who is chasing the snake, but for everyone. All snakes are not poisonous. We should not hurt the snake. Rather, we should let them go, as here the snake itself saved his life. I hope you understood the poem. Thank you very much.